One.
All right, guys, for 621, we want to talk about something called partitioning a line segment, okay? Let's just say, for example, you have a line segment and it has two endpoints, and you can figure out the length of that line segment. That's what we talked about in most of 6.1. But in 6.2, what if I'm looking for a point that's in between those two line segments? That would be partitioning. Partitioning means you're cutting it into some ratio, or you're finding some point in between the two endpoints. Now, there's one very specific one that is very easy. It's the easiest one of all, and that's the midpoint, finding the halfway point between two lines, of a line. But we can also find really any point that is in between by using some specific rules. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention. It's pretty easy, but getting the midpoint first is great because that'll help you with the partition. All right, so determine the endpoints of the line segment x1, y1, x2, y2. Substitute the values of x1, y1, x2, y2 in the midpoint formula. Okay, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and then y1 plus y2 divided by 2. You're basically finding the average of your x's and the average of your y's. And we'll see why that works in just a minute. Okay. All right. So here's how you find your points of any given line segment. Basically, we're gonna instead of multiplying by a half, right, find the halfway point, midpoint. We're gonna multiply by whatever ratio they give us, and we'll show you that in a second. But make sure you come back, pause this video right here to look at these notes if you need it for some of the later examples. All right. So example 1, calculate the midpoint of a line segment with the endpoints -2, 1, and 4, 10. So first thing I'm gonna do is very quickly draw myself a line, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I need to go all the way to 10 on the y's. So 8, 9, 10. All right, so 4, 10 over 4 up 10. And then -2, 1. So here. So that's our line. And again, hand drawn, bear with me. But I want to find the midpoint. And just by drawing and looking at it, I can tell you that it probably should be somewhere in this area. I could probably get more specific than that based on my bad hand drawing. I don't want to get too specific. So how can I calculate that? Well, if you think about it, we have this change in x and this change in y, right? And this midpoint is going to be about the halfway point of each. Again, mine may not be perfect because it's hand drawn, but I can use algebra and calculations to figure out specifically where it is. But I'm just trying to get you a visual idea of where it is. It's halfway along the x and it's halfway along the y. So what I want to do is take and add those together. So -2 plus 4 divided by 2, comma, or multiplied by 1/2, right? Same thing. And then 1 plus 10 divided by 2. And what I find is that I get -2, this is 1, which as you can see, I was very close to that, just from my estimations. And then on this one, it's 11 divided by that, so that's 5.5, 5.5. Okay, and if I look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I was relatively close there. So it's 1, 5.5, so it's about right there. Okay, so again, that's how you do it. That's how you do your midpoint. Okay, those are the easiest examples. Let's take a look at another one real quick, and then we'll do some harder ones on the next. All right, the next one. Show mathematically that 1, 5.5 is the midpoint of line segment negative. I literally just did this. Okay, so again, how would I do that? It is -2 plus 4 divided by 2, comma, 1 plus 10 divided by 2. All right, and that's going to give me 1, comma, 5.5. So that's how you do it mathematically. On the previous one, what they were really looking for was you to do it graphically. Find half your distance for the x's and half your distance for the y's. Okay, all right, we'll stop this video there, and we'll talk about partitions in the next video.